So this came in the mail today. Pretty excited about it. Kawasaki genuine parts. This is the new OEM style rear luggage rack for the 2021 Kawasaki KLX230. And let's take a look and see what's in the box. More cardboard. Instructions. Alright. This looks like the aluminum plate that goes on in the middle. Bag of hardware. And the actual rack. So let's go ahead and cut this up and take it out and see what everything looks like. This video is no way sponsored by Jim Boy's Tacos, but it is powered by Jim Boy's Tacos. It says a maximum of 6.6 pounds. Do not exceed maximum load. I don't know how I'm going to stay within that, but we'll see. The hardware pack. Lots of individual hardware bags. Wow. So it looks like mounting bolts, a couple of different sizes. It's got 4 of these sleeves. I will go ahead and open up the instruction pack and see if it's in English and see what it says here. Oh, the instructions are in English, which is fantastic. And then we'll go ahead and install it on the bike. So the first thing we need to do is remove the left side panel. It just takes the key, and there's 2 grommets and pegs that you have to pop up and pull down and slide to the back. It's not as hard as it seems, and this is where you can access the battery and other items. Next, we're going to do the same to the other side. These are 2 8mm nuts, one at the top and one at the bottom. Once again, you're going to loosen those up. It's going to pull down. It has the slides, so you're going to slide it to the back and pull down to gain access to that top bolt. You could do it without removing these, but I really think it's much easier if you do take both panels off to get to that top bolt to mount the rack. Now there's going to be 2 bolts on the side of the fender below it that you're going to need to take off. It gets a little tricky with the exhaust, but not too difficult. Just the top one there's a tough angle, but shouldn't be an issue. So the 2 on the other side are easier to get to once you remove the panel. You want to make sure to keep the spacers that come with it because you're going to reuse those. And now we can install the rack. The easiest thing to do is put it towards the back of the fender and then get it around it and then slide it forward. This makes it much easier. You don't have to try to tweak the fender to get the front mounting points on it. Next, you'll use the provided bolts with the rack and the spacers that were on its stock to go ahead and bolt the 2 on the left hand side. This does get a little tricky on the other side with the exhaust, but it's easily doable. It's the same process on both sides. And be sure to leave everything really loose. It was a struggle to get those spacers on this side here. When I got to the back bolt, I had to undo the other side to get it to be able to have enough space to where I could get that spacer under the rack, as you'll see here, and get the bolt through. So nothing too difficult, just leave everything loose and it'll make your day a lot easier. And now you can just go around and tighten everything up. It did give a torque spec in the instructions, and I believe it was 6 foot-pounds of torque on all 4 of those bolts. You can wrench them down pretty tight. Next, we can install the piece of aluminum that mounts to the top of the rack. It gives it a really nice flat surface and then some additional areas to run straps through if you're mounting things to it. This came with 4 bolts and 4 long spacers, as you can see there. And there's some extra tabs on the back of the rack. It makes it kind of difficult to get those spacers in, but not too difficult if you fiddle around with it a little bit. These are also an 8 socket on top to tighten them down. The bolts towards the front of the bike are much easier. There's a lot of space to get your fingers underneath and get it set up. And then after that, it's just tightening it down. Once you've got that rack tightened down, now it's just a matter of putting the panels back on. Once again, you slide those 2 tabs up into the slot, push it forward, use the key to lock it down, and there's also 2 rubber grommets with pegs that pop in, one right there in the back that I had to push in, and one in the front. And going to the other side, just insert the 2 tabs, push it down towards the front of the bike, and then replace the 2 bolts that we took out. Those are 8mm also. So I think the quality on this rack is really good. Being an OEM part, I would expect nothing else. It's a small rack, so you're not going to be able to stack a ton of luggage on it. But a small bag strapped to the back for day trips, I think would work out really well. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you do those kind of things. If not, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.